I can only assume that most of you have heard that the Supreme Court has decided that state bans on same-sex marriage are not constitutional, effectively legalizing same-sex marriage across the entire country. We knew this ruling might happen, but just a few years ago, we were thinking, well, this will eventually happen. But I certainly had no idea, Lewis, that by 2015, we might have full national gay marriage, even with the acceleration that we saw in individual states legalizing. We thought this was still a ways away.
We did. We thought maybe even five, I would say a minimum of 5 years away. So it is a little bit shocking. Yeah.
This is just such great news. And it's great news because this is just not something we should be putting energy into. Of course, two consenting adults should be able to get married to each other. We have so many other issues. And Lewis, maybe if everything was just perfect in our world, we could put more time into analyzing the specifics of which consenting unions between individuals should be legal or not. And even then, I would say that it's a waste of time. But especially when we have so much going on our planet and in our country, this is one of the biggest wastes of time. And I resent the primarily religious fanatics who have been pushing this into the issue that it has been, because it's been energy and dollars and mind power that could have gone into something better. And fortunately, the Supreme Court has decided that it's not going to go any further.
No, but that doesn't mean that we still won't have the distractions and the noise being made by those religious fanatics, right?
Right. Well, this is not the end, right? Some are going to fight this. Former Senator Rick Santorum said on NBC's Meet the Press recently that he doesn't care what the Supreme Court says, that, quote, we're not bound by what 9 people say in perpetuity. It's important to understand, he said, that the Supreme Court doesn't have the final word. Mike Huckabee, who's also running for president, said he signed the defendmarriage.org civil disobedience pledge, suggesting that if he was elected president, he would just ignore the Supreme Court ruling in favor of same-sex marriage. Ted Cruz, if the court tries to do this, he said, it will be rampant judicial activism. It will be lawlessness. It will be fundamentally illegitimate. And then Ben Carson said he doesn't even think the law would have to be enforced because he says, according to how he believes the Constitution works, the president must carry out the law of the land, and that the law of the land comes from the legislative branch, that a judicial law, as he describes it from the Supreme Court, would not need to be enforced. Ben Carson, as usual, living in a fantasy world.
Yeah, I think, somehow he is twisting this up, and I don't know how you can just ignore one branch of government. I mean, it's there for a reason. If their rulings don't matter, let's look back at that.
And aside from these individual nuts on the right, this also isn't over, because we already knew and we already saw that the new focus in the battle against LGBT equality is so-called religious beliefs. We knew that from months ago, Lewis, and we said the momentum of same-sex marriage is obvious. The fight now is going to be over individuals who should not have to serve LGBT individuals at their businesses or participate or do same-sex marriages. That is still going to be a front on this insanely bigoted battle, and we need to be prepared for that. And we need to remember that you can still be fired for being gay in many states. You can get married in any state legally now, but you can still be fired for being gay. That has not changed. So broadly speaking, the battle for LGBT rights has not ended, but this is a huge victory.
And I think we have a few more important rulings ahead of us from the Supreme Court. And, I think that, employment one is going to be the next big one.
Last thought on this. This is an opportunity for a lot of right-wingers to just get together and say, hey, you know what? A lot of us don't even really have anti-gay beliefs, and we've just been continuing to say that because we depend on the fundraising that these anti-gay beliefs bring us. Let's all just get together and say, hey, you know what? This is settled. That's it. And they could all just move on and agree not to have this be an issue. And all the right-wingers who have felt pushed into having an anti-gay view, this is their out, right? They could actually get out of this paradigm, but it doesn't seem like they're choosing to do that.
I don't think they're going to do that because there is still so much of their base who want them to fight this. So I think they're kind of stuck. They have to.